Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crafts Her Way. I'm so sorry, by Devin Seward. And I apologize for yesterday. I understand that you couldn't hear me very well. So today I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder. And I want to show you a few things really quick like. So yesterday we did a pour on the hearts. And as you can see, they turn out so cute. And then you just decorate them any old way you want to. Okay. And so we're going to work on that. So I'm going to set these down. I'm kind of making these up for the grandson. So I have kind of some little stickers here. If you can see them, they got little dinosaurs on them. And my grandson loves T-Rex. So we're going to put a T-Rex on this one. So I'm just going to take him, if you can see him there. I'm just going to line him up to where his head doesn't try to go too far over, but he's on there. And then that little tail will just wrap right on around to the back side. Yeah, there's a little bit of red on the other side. But as you can tell, and then you just want to put them on there. Just like that. And then you can put a clear coat over them. And usually if you do that, you do it with UV resin. And then the little bitty one, which is right here, I have this little bitty yellow one, as you can see there. And I'm just going to pop him up. Nice and easy. Then we're just going to put the little yellow one on there. Kind of where he's on. And wrap that tail on down. And they don't really line up with the hearts, but he loves dinosaurs, so he will adore them so much. Okay. And then also yesterday, I poured this little Christmas tree. And the really cool thing about it is, well, I might put a little bit of glue there again. I just kind of took some little beads and put them all around it. And just kind of decorated it really, really pretty. And I put a little flower on the top. And that little flower just kind of resembles the star, if you can see it. So today, we're going to pour one. And there's my little Christmas tree mold, as you can see. Okay. All right. If you hold on a minute, we're going to mix it up. And so I used the glaze coat and crystal clear. This is A. So I'm going to turn my cup around here with the bigger letters. And as you can see, there's one, well, there's 50, there's one, there's 150, and there's two. And so we're going to fill this up to 2. Oh, we might make it. Come on. We're going to let it drizzle a minute. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just add another 150 of the B, which will take it up to 300. All right, I'll get my gloves on here. I apologize if my voice isn't that loud. I'm trying to talk as loud as I can. I'll figure out how to get the volume a little louder. It doesn't want to do so great on my phone. I just want to give it a really good stir. Okay, we're going to set that aside a minute and kind of let the bubbles rise because I don't have a whole vacuum chamber. And I'll show you real quick. We also did these yesterday. These were our little turtles we poured, if you can see those. And so we're just going to pop a couple of them out. See, there's one. Nice and cute. So tiny. They're probably about as big as my, if you can see the top of my finger there, that's all the feather he covers. Pick him up in a minute. So he only covers the tip of my finger. So that's how little they are. They're adorable. And then we made some red ones yesterday. Just covers the tip of my finger. And then here's a blue one from the leftover blue we had yesterday. And he just fits the tip of my finger. So that was them. I just kind of wanted to show y'all. Let me pick him up. Oh, they're so cute. So cute. Okay, and then also, yesterday I made this little bitty turtle. It's kind of like a sea turtle. But he's probably no bigger than where he's at now from finger to here. You know what I mean? He's just like really tiny. Not teeny tiny, but tiny enough. And so I have the little mold. And we're going to do him also. All right. Now back to our resin. And I apologize for turning everything. Let me move the tree back over so I can get you in there so you can see. Okay. And so I got this green glitter. This is regular green glitter I pick up from the dollar store. And so I'm going to take this green Tamper paint, which is eagle friendly. And I'm just going to give it a little jog down in there. And then I'm going to pour this green glitter in there. You kind of got to shake them to get it in there really good. Just give it a really good shake because you want to get quite a bit of glitter. Okay. And then we're just going to stir this in really, really good. You want to get that green paint mixed in there too. A little bit of a darker green, but I think it'll work out for the best. Christmas trees are green. I like white Christmas trees too. I always decorate mine with snowmen on And I have a snowman that goes on top, and then I decorate it with little snowman crystal balls and blue garland. I got blue lights in mine, so it always makes it so pretty. Okay. I believe that's good and whipped up. So now, oops, hold on a minute, let me get a towel. I kind of don't like laying them on my mat, and then you have so much more cleanup than normal, and I don't want to have to do a bunch of cleanup. Okay. So we're just going to take this, put my Christmas tree back over here so you can see, and we're going to pour it down in there. Nice and slow. You want to make sure you give it time to go into the grooves. All right. And just drip a couple more spots. There we go. That seems to be pretty level. Now when I stick her back here, I'm going to use a couple things here to prop it up because they like to fall over. So we're just going to prop it with as much as we can find to prop it. Now, hold that up there a minute. And I'll just use an extra bottle of paint. We'll get her getting propped up. Okay. And then we're going to go to this real quick first. This is a frog that we made yesterday. And so in order to get her going, I just kind of like let loose of these. You want to get down on them toes. They take a little while to cure. So if I can get that going, then I can pick at these little toes here. And I can just kind of, gotta keep prying around them tiny toes. And I always say, once you get past the toes, the rest goes past. And you just kind of pull it back. So there's the different color froggy we did yesterday. And you get up to the bigger toes. Front toes, I call them front toes. Front toes are usually a little bigger on your frog. And then you go over to this one and pry these front toes because you don't want to pull your toes off. So you just want to take it easy. And you're going to do a flip over the head. Isn't he beautiful? I just like the way he turned out. I thought maybe the toes would be green, but you got white toes, green and orange, blue, and green and orange. And as you remember, we put little eyes in it. So there's the cute little eyeballs. Yeah, adorable little guy. And then there's the bottom. If you can see the bottom of him. Okay, so that was our little frog from yesterday. Alrighty, we'll set him aside. And then we're going to pour our little turtle, which if you remember I showed you that was the little bitty turtle. He's kind of like a little sea turtle, not very big. And we're going to pour him in green. So if you can see it, I kind of got a little nick in my cup. I don't really want to do that, but it's, you know what, give me a minute. It's so much easier when you pour from a Dixie cup. So let me grab a Dixie cup. We'll just pour a little bit of that in there from our Dixie cup because it's so much easier to pinch it. So we're just going to squeeze it in there. Let that go for a second. Drizzle some more. Let that go for a second. Maybe a couple drips. Oops. There we go. Let me get us a popsicle stick here. I can do that very gently without kicking over my Christmas tree. All right, there we go. And we're just going to swoop it back in there. And there's our turtle. And we'll let him sit up all night. I'll be glad to get some extra machines and stuff to do that with. I haven't had a moment to do any shopping. And then this is our little snail. Isn't he adorable? And I'll put some little eyes on him later. He's kind of red, golds, a little green. My brother-in-law loves collecting these. I make them and messed them up the first couple times, and I would give them to him. So anyhow, I'm going to pour my brother, sorry, I'm going to pour, yeah, I got the Pixie cup still. Let's just do it that way. So here we go. We're going to pour in the snail. I'm going to stop about here. This is where it gets messy. And I got this little poker, and you really just kind of want to be careful with it, but I'm just going to poke down in there. Nice and easy. Poke down in there. Poke down in there. Making sure we're getting into that little ball. And the same on this side. And then the same in here. And the same in this little antenna. And once you get that done, we're going to sit her back up. And we're just going to pour until we reach the top. Now let me pour a little more in my Dixie cup because it makes it easier to pour rather than pinching out of that cup. So I'm going to pour it more to the top. And there you have it. Nice and smooth. I'm just going to set that up there by that so it kind of holds it up. Some of them can get flimsy. And then we're going to take and we're going to pour a couple more into our little turtle so we can get some glittery ones. Oh. Make a mess. Make a mess, more cleanup. So the way my phone is holding makes it kind of hard to reach around there sometimes. I'm going to pour another one in here. Another one in here. Oh. More cleanup. Okay. There you go. Just drag you down there. All right. We don't want to mess it up anymore. So we're going to set this one aside. And then yesterday in the mail, I received these little bitty butterflies, which I'm so excited about. Glitz and Glam uses it all the time, and it is such a great little butterfly. I kind of like putting them on my teeny tiny turtles, so let me cut that open. So I was really excited about getting this one because I wanted to use this one to make some of these tiny butterflies to decorate my little bitty turtles with. So I don't know how she ever pours these so steady. Like drip, drip. And now look at that. See, there are tiny characters. So maybe it's just a drip, huh? Oh, that's all right. Oh, I missed. I can't lay them up for nothing. They're teeny tiny. Okay. Well, anyhow, we'll probably have to pour the rest of these off a camera, but we'll just drag it down. I think that I've seen her do that. How about that? Don't go over every time. I can't help it. They just don't seem to want to go in their little tiny eyes. It's a lot of little sprinkles for sure. Okay. But anywho, you get the idea. I can't wait to pull them out because they're so tiny and they're so cute. And I see her do it so many times that I think they're just adorable. Okay, let me see here. I can't just drip them in there. And maybe, oh, that seems to be so much easier. So, let's try to drip them in there. Oop. Yep, I lost track when I lost a little. So, yeah, that'll take me a minute to get used to pouring these teeny tiny butterflies. But there you go. Whoops. So, you all have a good night and a great day. Don't forget to like and share. And please, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.